Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy Tarochione. I'm with the Golden Life Community, and today is our weekly wisdom show from the Golden Living. Um, from the Golden Living. And today we're going to be talking about cherishing connections. Before we start, I want to introduce you to not only our guest, our co host, Dr. Angelika Christie, but she is also the chief officer of mind body optimization for the Golden Life Community. Good morning, Dr. Angelika. That's what we call her, everyone. So, Dr. Angelika, good morning.
Good morning, Kathy. It's so great to be here. A little bit had a long night, but here we are.
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about cherished connections and embracing friendships in our older years. Now, you might not even realize it, but Dr. Angelika and I are both we're senior citizens. You probably couldn't tell, can you? But we
Probably,
are also
it
we
gives you away. Your
yeah
hands give you away.
we are also very empowered women. And we're here to talk to women that are over 55 that have had friendships all their entire life and wondering what's happening now. Because here's what happens to us. There's this changing nature of friendship. When we first start out in life, we have friends as kids, and then we develop friendships. We have friends that we have for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden we don't have them anymore, and we wonder, well, what happened to them? Personally, for myself, doctor, I end up having I've had friends that I've had for 50 years, and when I think about the times that I've had with them, they're very vivid. But if I think of the other people that came through my life, there's just like vague memories of them. It's kind of odd, and I wonder why that is a lot of times, because why do we remember some and we forget others? So I
Mm,
think in the world that we live in, these people come into our lives for lessons. There's no coincidences. And when they're in your life, something happens, good, bad, whatever, they're there for a reason. But last night, when I was going to bed, I started thinking about what my life has been like, so I could be prepared for today. And you know what came into my mind? How dogs become our friends for life and beyond. Now, truthfully, I can remember every single dog I've had. I can remember details. I can tell you when they died, how they died, details on everything. But yet I don't remember that about friends. So there's certain a connection. And I wanted to talk with you about that for a second, because we are broadcasting on the Dog Connection Live. So everyone that's watching, if you've ever had a dog, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So why is that,
mm.
in your opinion, that people um, they remember things about their dogs?
Well, a dog relationship is very special. It is something that, because you usually get a dog because of a special, either you go to a breeder because you want a special kind of dog, or you just want a dog and you go to the Humane Society and pick one. Sometimes dogs just come to you. So there is a very poignant, a very special story with every dog. And I remember I don't have, and I'm so devastated about it. But for the last 25 years, I haven't had a dog because my story, my husband and I, we separated, we got divorced. I moved out of the house. I had to find a home for our dogs. We had three at that time. And then my life changed totally. And when we got back together again. He was living in a place in a penthouse where no pets were allowed. So I had to make a choice. But I did not really know how devastating that would be for me. And so thank God my two daughters who live on the same island as I, each of them has a dog. So sometimes I just have to drive there to cuddle with their dogs, and they love me. And so, maybe I have the best of two worlds, because I, they have their home and I'm just visiting. Um, but it's not the same. A relationship with a dog is, unfortunately, can never be through your entire life. So there are
Yeah, too short.
too short, yes. But you have, because a dog has never really disappointed you, right?
Uh-huh.
Because a dog is always so excited seeing you wagging his tail, being out of, I mean, the greatest joy is, for your dog, for you to come home, or to, to,
Right,
to want to hug him, and to see him, no matter. This is a relationship that only exists. Well, maybe with cats. I'm not too sure. I always found cats to be more distant, but
right.
cat lovers have maybe different experiences. But for me, a dog is like an angel almost. It's
Right,
like
right.
a,
Yeah,
it's a
that's a
human
super that
angelic think that happens, and it doesn't happen with horses. I love the horses. I had horses, and it's different. A dog is a
a friend.
special, but very special creature. Yeah, it's even more than a friend. It's um
Exactly.
your confidant, because
Your
it's hard
companion, yeah.
with a
You
dog.
know, the last show that we did, if you remember, uh, it was about the connection that we have with our dogs and how they become our friends, and when you get older, how it's so important to have a dog in your life. So here we are again talking about how a dog is a friend, and a dog seems to keep fitting in. It's no wonder that we have a golden retriever named Goldie as our mascot for the Golden Life, right?
Yeah,
Because they bring that special thing. So they do end up being a friend. And you might have a number of dogs in your life, but those dogs, I believe a lot of it is because they're so trustworthy,
yeah,
and they can't tell your secrets, or they wouldn't even want to.
yeah,
And they give such a great example to us where we can just sit back, and if we were to follow their lead, we would see that they don't get upset over the small
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That's
And
that's
and and they will calm you down and they'll relax. So they are like the epitome of the best um, friend you could ever have because there is no judgment.
yeah. I must say though that I had one dog where that didn't really happen too much. I mean, I had, when I was growing up, there were the sausage dogs, the dachshunds, the
Yeah.
dachshunds. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
those
Dachshunds. Yeah.
those were the rough hair dachshunds. Those were my first dogs. But after I left home and I got married, um, champagne colored cocker spaniels came into my life, and they never grow up. They are so
Yeah.
funny, and
Yeah.
they stay puppies all throughout their lives. And then we had a male and a female, and they were breeding, and then we had all of these puppies. I mean, it was amazing. It was so beautiful. But then um, came a point, no, that was actually before we had the cocker spaniels, where my husband thought, oh, I want to do something special for my wife. And this was at the very beginning of our relationship. And I got pregnant, just got pregnant. And he found a champion Afghan in the States somewhere. And this poor creature had to be shipped to the Bahamas. And then something was wrong with the papers or with something. And he had to be shipped back and come. I mean, this poor dog, puppy, so sweet. And he was the most beautiful dog, but he was not a cuddly dog. He was kind of, so much work because
Yeah.
here in the
Yeah.
Bahamas, we have all these prickles, and the sand and all of this. And in the beginning, the first 2 years of those dogs, they don't have the silky long hair. They have very fluffy,
Hmm.
under hair, and everything gets stuck in that. I mean, it took me hours each day to get this.
Yeah.
So
Right. Yeah. Grooming
was
is always, yeah.
it
Yeah.
was a little bit of a headache. And when I did a trip back to Germany, um, but he loved me, and we had not that cuddly, but we had I cared for him so much. I put so much time into him, and I know he loved me because he would be so jealous of my husband. He couldn't, in his presence, we couldn't hug. It's so
You know,
funny.
there's a devilish part that happens with that kind of a friendship for sure, because you like it, but you don't like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, but you think, "Oh, he's mine. I get it. He's
right, yeah,
protecting me. He loves me." So
yeah,
that's what friends do. They show you unconditionally. They just show you how they love you.
yeah.
Well, reaching into that now, let's start talking about how do friendships evolve with age? You have friends for life, and then you have friends that you don't have for life. But um, once you have friends for life, all of a sudden there's an impact that there's difficulty in when you lose a friend. Now, it could be losing a friend because you moved out of state, or of course they passed away. But that impact of it when you get older, there creates this overwhelming overcoming the fear of loss. So when we look at that, there's a unique value of a late life friendship. And what is that value to us? Let's say when we say late life, we're talking our community really supports women over 55, but most women that are going to lose their friends that from death, let's say, is going to be the ones that are maybe in their 60s or so. And these are their lifelong friends. These are the ones that they went to all the time, they did things with, and now all of a sudden they're in this hole. So they may have also lost their husband too. And then how do we overcome that? What are the thoughts on that?
I am not the best candidate to speak of that. My situation with lifelong friends, especially female friends, I never had, when I was younger, I hardly ever had any female friends, very close friends. I don't know why that was. There was always jealousy of other women, taught me. And since I grew up in a very, aristocratic home, there was almost like, you had to separate yourself in a way. It was crazy. And then at the age, and then I got so busy because I had 3 children, and my life was very busy, and there were more men in my life than females, and that of course totally changed later on. But my earlier friends in Germany, lost total contact with, because at the time when I left, I was 36, 38, 36. I left Germany to move to the Bahamas. We could not talk like this. There was only the telephone with $15 a minute, so we did not have that opportunity to really stay in touch. So I lost all contact, and so getting older in my during my uh, after 50 and 60s here in the Bahamas, I started to develop female friendships. And in my health and healing center, we did those gatherings, and the those who were interested in health, others were interested in writing. So, but I was always the instigator. I was the one who created it. So there was very often a little bit of a distance there, and only in my 70s now, I really, really understand the intimacy, the beautiful sameness, difference and sameness of friendship with other women. So this may be very, unusual, but this is my story where I have now in my later years the opportunity to get this real bonding with other women, which is which is very, very special, and almost makes me teary because it is.
I can feel it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Because uh, all of a sudden we realize there's like this. We identify with the mortality, and we realize, hey, we only have so much time left. Let's and this better be valuable.
Yes,
It's
yes,
almost like we wasted time all of our life, but
yeah,
now we're facing it's almost near the end. So let's make this last exit. Let's make this last time
yeah,
really, really work for us. And
yes. The third
so,
act, is always
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah,
the culmination of everything that is worthwhile. Because since our time is short, we don't care about stuff so much anymore.
we
We,
don't.
we value what is important to us now.
Yes.
So and
Before it used to be, I'm sorry, before it used to be money, it used to be sex that we
yeah,
cared about.
so there
We
were
would talk about
jealousies.
all of these and the jealousies and all of this and all the considerations. And now we look at it as though it's a do-over for us. For all the things that we messed up on in our life, the older you get, you lose your friends, and now you find one friend that happens to meet the same ideals that you have. I think we become more flexible.
Yes,
I
yes,
think we become more tolerant
yes,
and less judgmental. We don't look at the women based on what their hair looks like, what their body looks like, if they're fat, if they're thin, if they're cross-eyed.
yes.
We look at them as to who they are. We seem to
Yes.
be able to see through their eyes. We can
Through their
feel the
eyes.
love in them. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it's beyond the outer shell. And as we learn this with our own bodies,
mhm,
to embrace our own frailties, or getting older, and have to go have to take the journey inside. I
mhm,
mean, who am I? Uh, and let go of all of this self criticisms, looking in the mirror, seeing the wrinkles and see all of this, and
yes,
find fault with it. We have to learn how to embrace ourselves and love ourselves. So once we can do that, we have a much greater affinity with others who going through that same stage. And that's why it's so important for as we get older, for women to really create that bond, like we created a bond not that long ago, right?
right,
7
right. And,
months,
and
eight months ago.
we become such close friends.
Yeah,
The sisterhood has been developed, and
as if we
it's
knew,
amazing.
yeah, as if we knew each other all of our lives.
Yes,
It's,
yeah,
so very powerful connections can happen, and there are no coincidences. It's, I believe, our soul um, just guides us, to opportunities and like your your vision for the Golden Life community, for the Golden Connections, for the worldwide, to bring those women who are at crossroads. 55 is not an easy age. You know, the all of the hormonal changes are in full swing, and the first, and we are losing our uh, very specific way of identifying. Whether we are a mother, or we are, we have a job, we may be a wife, if we are a mother usually, or these are all identifications with jobs we have, with hats we wear, And then when the children are out of the house, if you have children or things change, um, we start to doubt if we are still lovable, if we still matter. What is my life going to be all about now? And so it's a very vulnerable, very difficult time for women to go through that stage. And that's when I believe, and you believe it because this is your vision, for women to come together to be seen, to be heard, to tell their stories, to inspire each other, to uplift each other, to help each other through the tough times. That's
Mhm.
really what it's about, right?
It's like we are creating a new family.
Yeah.
You know, we are reaching out, and the most important thing in our life becomes relationships
The
and
heart,
these
soul,
friendships.
yeah,
Yeah,
not biology, but heart and soul connections. Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about what are the strategies for an older woman in making new friends. So let me set up a scenario here.
Hmm.
I'll use myself. Um, I have COPD, as you can see. I've wear a cannula. I'm on oxygen 24/7. I have a heart condition. Um, I'm pretty much at home because when I try to go out, it's such a hassle to have to carry oxygen with me and that. I moved twice, so I'm in a town that I've been in for 2 years, but I haven't made a lot of friends. 99% of my friends are online or they're living in some other state that I've had friends that I've had for years. But right here, where I am right now, right here, I don't have any. I really don't have. I have a few, but don't really have any that I can hug, that I can talk to. That so I rely on my virtual friends.
Hmm.
And many of the women that I talk to online, they will come online, but they don't know how to form those relationships online. And for myself personally, when I see it in them, they'll say to me, "Well, you make me feel so comfortable. I feel like I've known you for years." And I think one of the strategies might be is if you can go online and you can get involved with, let's say, different online communities. Particularly, we definitely would want you to come to our community.
Yeah.
But there are others out there as well. If you go to it, go in there with a mindset that you're worthy of it and that you have something to share.
Yes.
Don't go in with the idea that they're going to give you something. Go in there with a contributing mindset that you want to be able to give to them because you've got a lifetime of experience.
Yeah.
And with that is how I've been able to do really good at creating virtual friendships, virtual relationships.
Yeah.
And so that's a good tip. Do you have any tips about or strategies about how to make new friends when you get older, especially if you're homebound and you can't get out? Because I know, go to churches, go to socials, do this, go to activities, go play bingo, go to swimming, go to golfing. But what if you can't do that?
Yeah. Like when we had COVID, right? And I mean, there were
Right. Perfect
about
example.
three,
Yeah.
three
Right.
years of not have being able to do that. And I believe, I mean, there were so many, the suicide rate just skyrocketed during that time. And there is still something that is left over that women, and women feel this more than men because we are communicators. I mean, we are usually there to keep the family together and all of that. We are the ones, and so to find a community where you can do this, an online community, it takes a little bit uh, of helping, needing to make them realize that it is, first of all, safe. So we do need to create a space of safety, of non judgment. And so many women feel that they are judged if they are in a community. So we really need to make them feel, no, there is no judgment here. And this is what I believe is the difference between just joining a Facebook group and joining something that we are creating, that safe place where there is no spamming, that you're not going sold to, they're not, I mean, it's just for the benefit of each woman to grow, to develop, to really go through that journey, to understand how magnificent they are, how much value they have,
Yes. Yeah.
how much they matter, and have that joyful journey together. Uh, there are really no words to express this. You have to experience that, and
Hmm.
this is what we want to provide and are providing. And so I think the way for us to make other women feel comfortable is really what we're doing now. Talk about it, talk about their
Yes.
this what is happening, and how it can be different. Yeah,
You are so right on. You're actually talking about how can we deepening
yeah,
our new friendships, because it's one thing to say a person is my friend, but you have to look at that person as, does that person, do I bring value to them? Do they bring value to me?
hmm,
And what we talk about all the time is about connecting at the heart level.
yes,
So if you can connect at the heart level, just like a dog connects with you and you connect with the dog, friends don't care what you look like. They care who you are inside. They care about you as a person.
yeah,
They don't care if you did something wrong. Well, I shouldn't say they don't care. They do care, but they don't judge you for
yeah,
what has happened. So deepening these friendships is a difficult thing, I think, for a lot of women. They just don't know how
yeah.
because of insecurity or lack of self-worth or whatever.
And memories that are difficult, that are still with them, of what happened when they were hurt, when they were um, disregarded, or even by other women. It's not only men who do that to women, it's also other women. So there is a healing process. And uh, but recognizing that you want to heal and you want to find out who you are and your value, and have the opportunity to find uh, that space, that
Mhm.
connecting environment, and the network, the platform that we are building, um, is just it's just such a gift to all of us, also to the women who we are bringing in. And I think we have to trust the universe, or that
Mhm.
we are guided, that women will understand and will be guided, and will be courageous enough to make the first step and say, let me be, but with the idea of, yes, I receive, I get help here, but I also contribute, so that there is
Mhm.
a balance of give and take, you know
Right. So advice that we should be giving on nurturing and
yeah,
deepening uh, is what you're really saying. You have to
yes,
be involved. You have to be involved.
yeah,
You have to. I don't like to say have to. Nobody has to do
yeah,
anything, but we
yeah.
would suggest.
Wanting to,
Yeah, yeah,
wanting to,
wanting to,
yeah,
having the desire
yeah,
to
yeah,
be active, be involved.
yeah,
So many of us, they will say, well, we were a lawyer, we were this, we were that, we were all these things. We were very productive years ago. And then now all of a sudden we're not productive because either of illness, loneliness, depression, etc. And all of those things are labels. Those are like mental health, not mental illness labels.
yeah,
And see, you and I, and all the Goldens that are involved with us, we don't look at it that way. We look at it
yeah.
as though that we need to have mental strength.
Yes, and
We need to.
you feel it in your body. I mean, it's very tempting to hang out on Netflix, right? To and
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
or
I've done it.
And me too. I lost
Yeah,
some sleep over it, and said because I wanted to see the next episode and the
yeah,
next episode.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
1 o'clock in the night, and I said, "What am I doing?"
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Right.
we have that.
Yeah.
But we know that's not a life. You know,
Hmm.
these are short episodes that we, can do, and we have it. And, don't beat yourself up if that happens.
Yeah.
But, but the deeper value to really form those friendships and develop these even undeveloped gifts that may still be within you. As sometimes women say, I don't know what my purpose is after I have been this and this and this, after I, wore so many hats. Well, you don't have to find your purpose. Your purpose is already within you. What did you like when you were a child? What comes easy to you? What are you excited about when you talk about it? So
Hmm.
you just discover this. And other women who, and when you start telling your story, because storytelling, we know now more and more, even in marketing, everybody talks about how important storytelling is. And we used to do it sitting around a fire, right? Being in a
Right.
tribe and tell stories. That's how we used to learn. And there is not enough storytelling anymore. But when women come together and tell their stories, we see and we understand how much we are the same. You know,
But you
we
know what happens sometimes when they tell their story? Number one, they're afraid to tell their story because they're
are.
afraid of being judged, especially if they're shy and they're introverted and they have some self-worth issues and they feel, well, I came here because I want somebody to help me.
Mhm.
As opposed to if they said, well, wait a minute, how many women can I help by my story being told, even though it's really bad and really a lot of bad things happened to me. This happened, that happened. But
Mhm.
if I had the courage to be able to come forward, not only does it help others, but it helps her too.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
And
so
a, a certain amount of trust, has to be there and has to be developed, and that's what we are developing. This
and safety, a safe
that's
place,
a safe
a safe
place.
space.
We all need to feel safe, and if I mean, I had some issues telling my story because the way I was brought up, you never talk about yourself anyway, you know,
Right. Yeah.
and
No,
you're
that's a hush hush. And yeah,
very discreet about anything personal. And so, but in today's world, there is one, and mostly the younger ones, they talk too much. And so we older women, we say, oh my god, I mean, I could never do that. But with us it's different. We tell our stories from our wisdom and from our experience, and to let go of some things, or to find resonance with another woman who says, oh my god, I thought I was the only one. I thought, this could, nobody would understand if I would share that. And so this is how a trust actually is built over time. It's
right,
not there spontaneously, right away. And
right,
I believe it's up to us and up to the elites, which we call elites. These are women we invite, um, who are willing to share and to help, and to, because they have a lot of life experience, and we have, we had conversations with them. So there is a reason why we invite them to be part of the larger community. So it's a growing process. I believe we are actually growing a family, a soul, a
a
heart, and soul
sisterhood, a
family.
sisterhood. Yeah,
Sisterhood. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So, the importance of regular communication and shared activities is also what's super important. If you really think about it, you might go to something or you go to an event and then that's it. It's ended.
Yeah.
But what we love about having an online community is you can continuously be involved and actively involved. And the importance of it is the more you get involved in something, it's just like going to school. You make friends at school and then you start doing things together after school, and then you form relationships of
Yeah.
things you can do together. So, what we like about what we're doing, as you know, Angelica, is we're creating this co creation.
Yeah.
We're letting women co create based on their interests. So, let's say we want to do a book and a book on, let's say, widowhood. So those women that have been widows, they come together and they co-create together based on their stories. What a
Yes.
wonderful thing.
That's
And then
beautiful.
collaboration. But the one thing that we found, as you know, is communication has been a real problem for many women. They've lost the skills to
Hmm.
communicate.
Yeah.
They've lost the skills to communicate. So
Of
what
course,
are the, go ahead.
no, of course not all of them. And so this is then something that women who are easy, or who communication comes easy to, just have the ability to start a conversation with with some icebreakers, with some
Yeah,
questions that are not piercing, but are fun, and are easy, and are, you know um, surface. Don't ask a very, very difficult or deep questions right away.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there is a certain, and I mean, we have also created, you and I, we have created this path, right? That women can go through, uh, to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. And so they go through this course, if you want to call it that. And at the end of it, they're really understood, and they really know themselves better. And so what a different and more expansive and valuable experience this is in everything in their lives. And
I want to give a shout out to Beth. Hi, Beth. Beth is part of our team. Beth is with the dog parks, the Wisdom Dog Parks. Good morning, Beth. And then she writes here, I love that this is virtual. Even if I'm having a horrible day or feel introverted, I can still get myself to my Mac. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
oh,
Um,
beautiful.
Okay, so I started talking about here about how friendships they contribute to our emotional health,
Yeah,
and when I'm talking emotional health here, we're talking more like the mental health side of it.
yeah,
Too many women that we become associated with are confronted with being diagnosed with mental illness, depression. They're put on antidepressants, and they're being told that they can't that they've got a big problem because they've had drama and trauma in their lifetime, and based on that drama and trauma, they now have formed in their mind, oh, I'm mentally ill.
something wrong
Right?
with me. Yeah.
Something's wrong with me, right? And here at the Golden Life, we and the Golden Connections, we have a different viewpoint. We feel as though, yes, you've been through the drama and trauma. A lot of people have, but now you're going into a sisterhood and a support system where these women are there along with a dog being your mascot and your companion to help you through the rain during the times when you're alone. And then instead of having a mental illness, we'll help you create mental strength,
Yes. I
and that strength is going to come from within you, but also being supported, and it's being brought out by the women that are in your support group.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's super important.
Yes.
And then that gives us and the importance of a support system is phenomenal, and it's a place where you get to celebrate friendships.
Thank you. Yes. And
It's
also with the to find your genius, right? I mean, this is this program we have that is
Golden
available.
genius, yeah.
Yeah, the Golden Genius, um, because so many women don't understand that their own genius. I mean, where they have hidden treasures within them, hidden abilities that they never really recognized or thought about. And as soon as there is this incredibly scientifically proven system that you just have to fill out a questionnaire, that it goes a little bit deep, and you don't think about it. You just spontaneously answer it the way you feel it within you, and the outcome, what it tells you about yourself is phenomenal, and that is an inspiration that can help our Goldens also to understand their value and their inner worth and their genius, and how then somebody else, and then they can find somebody else who has a different genius, similar, and others, and so their groups can come together. It's fascinating,
I
the
know, I
possibilities,
know.
the
Well,
possibilities
that's
for self-growth, and also to create something together, right?
right, and the golden genius, it's an assessment, it's plans, but we have designed it specifically and exclusively just for our Golden Connection
Yeah,
platform, so that the women that are coming in, the idea here is that, as you pointed out, once you get to find out who you are, not only on your personality, but your strengths, and also on your ability to be able to do things, you'll be able to associate with other like-minded people.
yeah,
This is a little bit off topic, but if you remember, our team went and did this entire assessment.
yeah,
And then from this Dr. Tom Myers, who is involved with us, he's a psychologist, and he did an assessment on all of us, and then we had a group meeting, and he was able to bring each of us together to show us how we blend with
yeah,
each other and we support each other. For an example, I'm an emotional mess. I do not handle my emotions very well. And when I can't do that, I need somebody who has control over emotions and can calm me down. That happens to be Dr. Angelika. So she is in a position where when she sees that I'm escalating, she calms me down and brings me down. But I didn't know that before.
hmm,
Once I knew that she had that strength, I knew it was safe for me to be able to communicate with her because she wouldn't judge me, she would help me. And our entire team started talking to each other based on their strengths. And now the team is really, really fantastic
yeah,
because we know how to work with each other. So
yes,
picture this, ladies. Picture if we have all of the women that are in our Golden Connections or in our entire community, and we start sharing each other's strengths and we can depend on each other. And there's nothing worse than having somebody in your group that you can't depend on, because if they say they're going to do, if you're going to say it, do it.
yeah.
But if you have those that are there to support you and be there with you all the time, isn't that a wonderful thing?
Oh,
So
amazing. Yes. Hmm.
yeah,
That's such amazing offer that actually is available to all of our Goldens, and it's more valuable than you even can imagine. I mean, the way we are using it as a team is, of course, we have um, assistant, the virtual assistant, and her strength is, and that's why we probably picked her, because her strength is
exactly, exactly.
organizing, things. That's not my strength. I don't think
Right,
it's strength, but it's
right.
hers. So it's perfect. And others, I mean, it's just so
It's
fascinating
phenomenal. Yes.
how it comes together. And then you can rely on that. And then
Right.
you say, okay, I don't have to do it all myself, because we women often feel we have to do it all. You know,
Exactly.
and
Well,
you
what's even more exciting on all of this is that we realized that we realize that you can go ahead and take this assessment, and then you can get a response from the psychologist
Mhm,
about how what your strengths are. But then after that, it's like, well, what if I want to continue to find out about my strengths?
mhm.
And now we are coining mental strength as a hashtag
Yeah, yeah,
because that's where we're at. That's what we're promoting, not mental illness, not mental health, mental strength.
yeah.
And I think we're going to be the first ones to be able to be promoting that, especially for women over 55. And guess what? Now they'll be able to have a network of professionals that they can tap into should
Mhm.
they feel that they need a boosting on their strengths
Yeah.
and a boosting as to who should they go with. So we're having group meetings so that women can share together, facilitated by these professionals that can help them understand how their strengths can blend and they can co-create and then develop skill sets.
Yeah.
I was talking to Dr. Myers yesterday, and he was talking about how excited he was over the notion that women are going to be able to get together and talk about their strengths rather than their illnesses. Because
Yes. So that
we all
shift.
talk about, oh, my
What's
back hurts, this
yeah,
hurts, I got a headache, I've got diarrhea.
yeah. I mean, that's fine, but the other is really what is so much more building up rather than comparing and finding somebody who suffers too. Sometimes we need that. We need
Right,
to know that somebody is struggling with something that we are struggling with, but we need the other two. The
right.
ones that no, not just want to make us feel good and saying nice things, but no, actually um, telling you your strength, something that you enjoy, that is easy for you, but you think it's not worthy, or it's not, just really telling you who you are
Hmm.
when it comes to your strengths. Of course, there is a spiritual aspect of who you are, because every human being is divine in her, and every woman has that feminine essence, which is pure and radiant love, and is it's really is a star, is a light in the world, because women, and I believe that women will save this world. Because of
Absolutely.
women, we will not go into extinction, even though there are these Renaissance men, these incredible men who support women, who are not of the old system, that the dinosaur system that needs to break down and is crumbling. Um, so uh, there is a reason why you are in this lifetime, on this planet at this time.
Mhm.
Your life is not only important for yourself and your own development, but it is collectively important to raise the love quotient, to raise the light, because we cannot fight darkness. We can only bring light into the darkness, and
Yes.
that's what we are doing also. Yeah,
You know, the other thing too is if you really think about it, just to resonate what you said with empowerment,
yeah,
the tagline for the Golden Life Community is we are a lifestyle organization empowering
yeah,
mature women.
yes, yes,
Empowering. So it's
yes.
empowerment. Wow, wow.
Yeah,
Uh,
because oh, you have
yeah,
somebody.
yeah, Beth again, she says, over the summer I learned to replace mental health with mental wellness.
Hmm,
It's not even so much wellness, it's how about strength, Beth? Yeah.
yeah,
Strength. Give women the strength because wellness is healing, but strength means I can overcome this and I can help others so that they can become strong too.
yeah, yeah,
Just one word can make such a difference. You are so right. Thanks.
yeah,
Thanks, Beth.
yeah.
Oh, hi, Kinga.
Mhm.
Okay, so I wanted to real quick here, just these are women that are friends. Doesn't that beautiful? Don't we
Yeah.
want that? Don't
Yes.
we want to be able to have that sisterhood and feel together rather than sitting alone, worrying about each other and sitting eating alone and not doing things together? Let's
Mm.
bring the dogs into our life. Let's share all of that together and let's have a beautiful time. So now with that, I want to say that we have an event coming up, and that event is called Golden Hearts Unite. And it is on February 13th. It's on February 13th, and it's a self love Valentine celebration with the Golden Life Community. And we have Dr. Angelika, our president of the Golden Spaces, Scott Winton, Kelly Pratt, president of the Golden Connections, Beverly Glazer, who is on the advisory board, and she is also a co-host on our Golden Connections, and she has been around with us for a long time. So this is scheduled for February 13th at 1 to 2:30, 90 minutes. EST, PM EST, and we are doing this for a launch. This is a soft launch of our entire community. And we have two different areas, two different components to the Golden Life community. One is virtual, one is physical. The virtual is the Golden Connections, and we are going to be launching it. So we will be inviting women to join our connection platform so that you can start learning. And this is for women worldwide. And you just have to be over 55. There isn't a specific marital status. You just have to be able to um, uh, come in, have a computer, and also we want you to have a contributing mindset rather than looking at it as though we're going to invite founders into our soft launch, which is more like a beta, so that these women will actually be helping us in creating the back end so that you'll know what it took to bring this all together on a grassroots level. So don't expect to come in and see that everything is all perfect and everything's hunky dory. No, we want you to wash your hands, roll up your sleeves, and help us build this together because that's what sisterhood is.
Yeah. But there's already quite a lot in on our platform that women can already profit from, and we have live events, right?
Right.
Continuously, 3, 4 times a week. Yeah, and
Yes,
this
Dr.
will be
Angelica does.
both. Yes, this will be both
Doc
at most.
Dr. Angelka the other day did a, an exercise program, and it was one of the first ones, and it was a live exercise, and I found myself doing it with her, and I've watched a lot of exercise things, but I think it's because when you know somebody,
Yeah,
you feel like you're right there with them, as
yeah,
opposed to when you look on TV. But when you get to know these women, it's going to make a real, real big difference
yeah.
when you have a friend who is out there who isn't one that is a celebrity that's on TV doing exercise classes.
And
You are
20 years old, or 20 years young,
yeah,
and something,
exactly.
and you already said, "There's no way I can do that."
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm 77. I used to be very athletic, very sportive, but I have little issues. So I'm real, right? And and
yes,
and I bring all of me into it. And if I can do it, you can do it too.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, right. Beth, you're saying what is the easiest way for people to invite friends to this? Well, it just so happens that we are doing this show, not show, but this event on the 13th, and we'll be sending out registration for people to come to it. And at that launch on the 13th, that's when we will start inviting women to participate and they can come in. And Beth, we would love to have you involved as a host in the Golden Life Connections.
yes.
Okay, and you can go to, for right now, you can go to the Golden Life Community.com and you can see there are some memberships available now if you would like to do that. You're more than welcome to. But if you would like to wait, that would be fine too. Let me see here. Beth says, oh, Beverly Glazer, there she goes. Hi, Bev.
Yeah.
She says, I agree with you, Kathy. That's so wonderful about the lives and close community. There
Yeah.
she is. Okay, and then Beth
Beautiful.
gives us a. Okay, so that's our show for you. We almost did a whole hour, Angelika.
Yes, but it was
Wow.
easy, right? It's so
Yes,
easy
it really
to
was.
talk
Yeah.
about something that you feel passionate about, and yeah, it's you want to share it, and
Exactly.
that's what we did.
Exactly.
Nothing was scripted. We just got together this morning and say, let's talk about it. Of course, you were more prepared because you have all of these wonderful.
Yeah, that's our Golden Life community. That is the image
Yeah.
of the strong woman who has this beautiful tree, the tree of life, love, growth, happiness, and spirituality. She is the strong woman, the strong woman.
Yes.
Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.